we have my main man, Alexander Smith.
What's up, dude?
Thanks for stopping by, doing a collaboration kind of deal. We have Nerd, the Nerd Companion.
Thanks for having me.
It took a minute to get this all going. Obviously, you saw the back end of it. Thank you, Alexander, for coming through, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Obviously, we're going live. I just wanted to treat everybody as in with the live episode. So everybody, welcome, episode 36. Did a little change up. I thought the little setup would be a little bit different because usually we have the couches going on, but for this time around we'll go ahead and have, the setup. So
I like it a lot.
You're definitely breaking it in.
But not just my favorite colors. This worked out.
So Alex and I kind of go back, but we caught up as Navy veterans. We've been talking about this, but kind of didn't have it. Then I ran into you at work, and then kind of went from there, and then boom.
Yeah, that was a weird instance, right?
Yeah, that was a weird distance. Yeah.
I definitely was walking by. I saw you, and then I kept walking, and then my mind went, yo, wait, no, go back, wait. I looked, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always weird seeing somebody at work, and they've got something, worrisome going on, and you try to, be happy and stuff, and try to, it's always weird for me, because I know that they're there for a serious reason.
No, but I always think about it, because then you had told me, you're like, hey, bro, I was about to text you the other day. And I'm like, well, I'm here. Like, what's up?
What's weird? I'm not sure if I told you, but I literally had a dream. You were in it. Nothing weird, but it was like I don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
I thought about you, and then it was like, dude, I had a dream about them. Like, you were chilling, we were doing something.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, I see it was like, bro, this is like divine intervention or something.
No, I think it has to do with that manifest thing. Because obviously as we get into the podcast, we'll get more into, I think, kind of like manifested. But at the time, you had already started the Nerd Companion, correct? Or you were already contemplating? Because that was like last summer, I guess. It was like a year ago.
Was it a year ago?
I would just go easy.
It may have been like 6 months ago.
Nah, but I wanted to go ahead and easily say it's a year, just to be
No,
safe.
then I wasn't.
Because you were
No.
you weren't there.
I started this year, coincidentally at the beginning of the year, not as like a New Year resolution. It just happened.
Oh, okay. No, you're right. So maybe what?
It might have been early, but if you're saying it was last year, the Nerd Companion definitely was not. Although it was something I've been thinking about for a while, just never pulled the trigger on it, along with many other things that people try to come up with when they're having a midlife crisis, like myself.
No. So no. Well, I mean, but originally you and I used to just have substance sort of conversations that
Absolutely.
and our conversations kind of went into just killing time, but it was the best. But then also you were busy, I was busy, so we would kind of just chat it up, have some good conversations, and go from there. And then I knew at the time, I think I came up about. I just remember understanding you were trying to go do something among them.
Well, I think at that time I was also writing a short story.
Right.
Yeah, I've always been very creative. Not like I'm good at being creative, but I've always had this drive to do something creative, start a project from a blank canvas and do something with it, right?
Yeah.
I honestly happen to fall into a job that I just coincidentally really love, and I feel incredibly blessed to have it.
Right.
That kind of gives me a kind of leeway to do those things, even though it might dictate my time. But I just feel very blessed to be in a position where I actually like my job, and then still have the ability to kind of create if I'm not being a little punk about my time, not wanting to do it because of the energy.
No, Renaissance man.
no, those guys were incredible. I mean, you had people that were philosophers, also mathematicians, engineers. I'm talking one person, real deal.
No, but I still believe though that see, I don't know, when I've met with other fighters and comedians, it's almost like it's like you're doing it.
Yeah.
And then people don't realize you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing it. Like I feel everybody sees the end game and things. You know, if anything, somebody's gonna see, oh man, he already has like $5 or $4, but it's like, yeah, but nobody knew who he was when he was writing the first one.
Yeah.
And then obviously, after the first one, he got noticed, and then next thing you know, the second, third, fourth, then people are like, oh man, he's like, oh, you know, Alexander Smith and her, like, well, yeah, but did you hear about him with the first, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
I definitely think people need to definitely jump in whenever they feel that they need to be doing something, or even if they want to do something, just jump in and do it. Because you can get caught in the game, just grinding or coming home doing the same thing, and then it can, not that to say that you're complacent because you're doing what you need to do to take care of what you need to take care of, but also remember that you are, as a person, or an individual that needs to define yourself by other means. At least I feel like that's me, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not everyone's like that, but I definitely feel like I'm more than my job. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people identify themselves as being what they do for a profession. So I think that's where that comes from.
No, man, I mean, all serious. I mean, I say the Renaissance man is because, you know, you have your aims in different things. So you have your career, you know, family man. So I feel like you dabble and then you keep yourself busy, positive, which is a good thing.
I try.
Because, well, I mean, you're a veteran too. And I remember that's where we really hit it off too as well. You're a veteran.
Yeah.
So now, tell me about the origination for the Nerd Companion. Kind of how it came.
Oh man.
Now where it's at. What's going on?
I feel like for me, I started the Nerd Companion. It's been a thought for probably about 9 months before I started it this year. I found that I, as a guy, was having a hard time making time to hang out with friends. Mm-hmm. And I found myself listening to different podcasts. And the more I got familiar with different podcasts, I kind of felt like I was a part of their friend group. Not to sound like a sad, pathetic kind of person, but you kind of like adapt them as kind of like, you know, like your fellowship, right? They're talking with their friends and you're kind of like talking to, you know, to them, but, you know, really to yourself, and you kind of feel like you're hanging out. And I felt that this was a good way to at least, you know, schedule time to hang out with a friend and maybe just talk about stuff that we're interested in.
Right.
And the whole point of, you know, doing this was to just kind of talk about different topics that I'm, you know, excited about, that I can actually talk about with other people while giving them a platform to talk about something that they also enjoy.
Right.
And kind of facilitate that conversation. And kind of, you know, as the name suggests, the Nerd Companion, it's always about like nerdy content, like video games, novels, movies, wrestling. And we kind of, you know, throughout the episodes kind of poke fun at ourselves in a sense that we are nerds, and we kind of, you know, we see that and we laugh about it. And I think that's part of the fun too, understanding that from adults that love this childish stuff.
No, but I mean,
what do you and did I answer that?
No, because on yours is wrestling based. A lot of it's wrestling based.
Yeah, I would say probably half the content's maybe. I would say maybe about 30 of it. I think I enjoy watching wrestling, and it's something that I can easily talk about, and the content kind of makes itself. The only thing I do is just kind of analyze it. So some of my content is about wrestling, mainly more about WWE, because that's about all the time I have to watch for wrestling. I can't do too much. I start to be like, oh.
But understand that's right. Okay, now it's getting cool because when I was younger, my dad, I've talked about it in the podcast before. My dad used to take me to Summit.
Oh.
And he would take me to my friend in school, and you know, and he caught on to it after a while. I always go on about this story.
Was your dad not a fan whenever he took you?
No, no, because my grandfather, his dad, we used to watch wrestling. So
what promotion? Like AAA in Mexico?
Well, their family's from South Texas, so my grandfather used to watch wrestling, like Mark Harris, all that, and he used to watch it from down there, but he knew about it going on here in Houston. And then I believe, obviously, you know, it was always broadcasted. I mean, obviously, before me, man, but I was born in '80, so when it was going on, they would broadcast it, I guess, and then he would see it and they would watch it. So my dad, he came over here to Houston. I was born over here. I don't know. I just used to watch it, and then I remember my grandpa used to joke with us about it. Iron Claw, and then, but my cousins, they used to play with them more on the Iron Claw, but I just remember my grandfather was glued to the TV And it was, and I don't remember. I mean, this is like I think before there was like, there was characters obviously, but I think before the painting and all the extravagant, and then the fireworks, it was more basic. Like these guys are, good.
Well, it's definitely more pageantry now for sure.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. That's odd from when I walking in and then seeing a big tube TV, and then them watching. I remember like just them like wearing, I guess they're blue or whatever.
Yeah, that's what you're watching.
So then I got into it, and then as you know, my dad caught on after the first or second time. He got to know some of the other veterans that were guarding the summit.
Yeah.
And they would tell him, "Hey, Andy, do you know Diego? If you go over there, like you can get tickets for the next 8 months."
Right.
And then these were the road shows they would call, and I would always take it. I knew there was a difference because I never seen no cameras, but I always knew it wasn't like that Saturday Night Game Plan.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't the
like a big promotion.
Correct.
Yeah, and I think that's the good thing about wrestling too. It's like, mainstream ideas that people look at is like, but there's so many different promotions out there. I mean, even Houston currently has Reality of Wrestling, Booker T's promotion here in Houston. Santa Fe's got a big promotion out there that they do. Big event, once every couple months that they do out there. So I mean, it's a big industry. Obviously, I don't cover that much in that podcast. I look at only WWE because that's just only the amount of content I can take before my mind turns into goo.
Yeah.
But at least to where there's no diminishing return in my interest in the show, where it doesn't feel like that makes any sense.
But I feel like wrestling and that world laid down everything I'm interested in, because when I was younger, I remember sometimes over wrestling with friends, and then sometimes, actually hitting them accidentally, and then like, oh damn, and then because we were mimicking what we saw on TV.
Oh yeah,
and
even
we
though
were
we told
mimicking,
not to.
like Jim Duggan, Hacksaw Jim Duggan to Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh yeah.
Ravishing Rick Rude.
See,
that was my I was like 8, 7, or I don't know, that was like my era. Like
that was right before I got into it. My parents.
No, because we're a few years behind. We're just like right behind.
Which is actually a big deal in childhood years. Like 5 years in childhood years is like 20 years in adult years.
But you're the last of the last. You're the like before cell phones, before all. Like this is when our attention was. We knew the time. We looked at the TV guide, either the TV guide from the newspaper, the TV guide that you bought at the store in the front, right there before you leave, but whatever time. And then the one that I would always hit big, the Saturday Night Event.
Yeah.
And those were always a hit and miss.
That was the WWF promotion. Or what was that?
Yeah, WWF. Yeah. And then it would either be before SNL, or if there was no Saturday Night Live.
See, I didn't even watch that.
It was either Saturday Night Live was going on, and then they would either show it on NBC. Yeah, I think it was on NBC, and then sometimes you wouldn't have SNL. Somehow they would get that spot. And it would be like awesome, because they'd be like, you don't have to pay pay-per-view, you don't have to pay anything. You just
it was on there. Yeah. I think that's a good marketing idea. It's like, understanding that to get it more accessible to more people for sure. And I know that there was like that on Saturday morning as well.
And then of course they would mimic like it was an actual Saturday night, and everything. They're all wilding out. It was like Saturday night.
Yeah.
Saturday night everywhere.
I got really big into it, like when WCW, I think first got Hulk Hogan, like whenever he took his hiatus from WWF, and making some movies, and that's kind of like where I really got into it. And then it was like the Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWF.
Yeah.
The genesis of the Attitude Era and the fall of WCW, resulting in the merger. Like all like that to me was like the stand of what I remember like really being into for sure.
But so obviously you got into the writing, like understanding the storylines, on top of all that, and then this is how it made you fall into like doing novels, or?
Oh man, that's a completely different thing. I don't know if wrestling was. I mean,
because I can see that kind of carrying over. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's with me. Like the reason I'm into UFC is because of the marketing they do, like the clashes between the fighters. But I feel the building blocks of it was what you were seeing, what I was seeing when we were young.
Absolutely.
And it was definitely what carried over now.
Yeah, I definitely think that wrestling, if you look at it, if you really try to see what it is for what it is, it's essentially theatrical gladiatorial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what you're getting. And my favorite thing is when, you tell somebody, oh, you watch wrestling. It's like, oh, that's fake, right? And you're just going, what? It's fake. I love pretending like I don't know that.
And then it's like
what?
No, but it's like almost signaling out, like, it's now I don't even have to talk to you no more.
No, I dig into it.
Like, no, I know, but still, like, if they're almost like making you feel like, well, yeah, that's the fun part, but that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it even more.
I don't like to be real. I know that it is something fake. It's okay. Like, what shows do you watch?
I mean,
like, you watch Game of Thrones? Do you actually think there's White Walkers out to get you when you go get your mail? No, it's just as fake as wrestling.
I mean, we can even say even Macho Man Randy Savage. He was treating Elizabeth bad. I pictured Hulk Hogan coming in. He came in, and when he came in, and he like treated her, had her on the, and then it was bad. It was real bad. I believed it. That was the whole part about writing stories, and then you're just into it, and whether it's real, whether it's not, but actually some of that shit was actually really real.
Oh yeah, for sure. None of it was some backstage that they probably shouldn't have made into an actual story and go camera, because I feel like that's, I don't know. I feel like you're really trying to. I feel like they can really hurt a relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of that writing, definitely interesting.
And then the whole, I believe the other storyline of Macho Man not being able. Well, this was what worked into his. And then I kind of bring it up with he didn't make it in baseball,
right?
And obviously that was very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But the dude loved to work out.
He had amazing work.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it's also like a real good success story, because I mean, that's what I'm saying. I feel we saw like the building blocks of a lot of things, because a guy that was kind of down and out, but good work ethic, worked out. I mean, he was there. He was a very good baseball player, but he just wasn't there for the pros. And didn't make it.
I think he had an injury or something.
Injury?
I might be wrong, but
I know
there was something that happened that
distorted.
Yeah, like he got benched or something, and he got disgruntled. I think he went back down, I believe, to Florida, and he kind of just did the operation. And his dad was a wrestler too, so I think that probably helped out, at least with an idea. And then of course, like with the Indian.
But see, that's but I feel like, because I remember on your podcast, on your on the video party.
Macho Man.
Well, you had the shirt too.
Yeah.
You had the purple. The shirt.
My wife was that shirt.
The shirt back.
Well, my wife thinks.
So then from when he didn't make it into that, he carried over, and then obviously fell into the wrestling. But then that's what I'm saying, man. He just took it like, it was like here. It was here. And it was like, yeah, wrestling, oh, cool. And then, I mean, everybody's still into it. But then Macho Man and Randy Savage went there. And when he went there, I mean, I can bring up a picture. When he went there, he went like where,
he was just.
Because now I look back, I don't even imagine myself. Like, I was still very admired by Macho Man. It was always Macho Man. I mean, it was pretty much how the storylines were, but it was either Macho Man or Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And obviously, Ultimate Warrior came in later. But the image that he, like, just, yeah. And then he has, and then the big glasses, and then he's walking, and he's just like, he just wants to beat somebody up.
Interesting.
Yeah, he did it pretty well.
No, he was
him for Halloween.
No, well, I don't know if I showed you that video. I can send it to you later. It was basically Happy Halloween, but it was stupid. I can show you. I posted on my Instagram, my actual personal Instagram. He was definitely my favorite character as a kid. Hogan just bugged me as a kid. He just bugged me.
What? I knew Hogan wasn't what Hogan really was.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's not who he is.
Yeah. I mean, not especially after a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's definitely on my Rushmore for sure. For my favorite wrestlers. But yeah. But it to talk about like the different writing, like what led me into that was definitely like reading books for sure. Which I hated reading books as a kid, but ended up falling in love with it because of Harry Potter.
So was it when you were younger? Was your parents were they leave 2 books on the dinner table and they better be read, or
No.
was it just like you just enjoyed reading?
No, I think as a kid I had a hard time focusing.
I could see that.
I had a hard time focusing. It takes a lot of effort for me to really concentrate on reading because I'm easily distracted by things that's in front of me, whether it's like sudden movement or sudden noises. Like it takes a lot. So I'm a slow reader. Sometimes I'll read a couple paragraphs and then my mind is elsewhere while I'm reading. Like I'm reading it, my eyes are going across, reading the word, but my mind is thinking about something else. I'll realize I'm doing that. I have to go back and read that paragraph again. So I'm a slow reader. So I hated doing it. You know what I mean? And reading is just like any other skill. It's like it's a discipline that you have to sharpen. It's like a tool. That's it.
Oh yeah, do it.
Yeah.
I think like how sometimes people tell themselves no because I'm not good in it. I'm not going to do it, and then I feel reading is something I struggle with, but I struggle with things that are not interesting to me more than things that are interesting. So
And I think
like if something's interesting, boom.
right.
But if I'm not interested, it's still difficult. I want to. Well, it's obviously difficult, but it's just obviously school right now.
It makes it easier for
School
you.
right now. There's a course, and then I'm interested, but still lacking because I'm trying to grasp everything I can, every word. I'm trying to read everything. And like you're saying, I kind of took off, but I feel when I'm finding out like terms, definitions of what I'm actually understanding, and I'm interested in having back and doing research,
Yeah.
then yeah, I'm glued to it because I'm like, this is getting the terms of actually what I'm actually trying to do.
Right.
Versus if I'm reading I hate to say it like that, people like anthropology. I came up with that the other day. Like anthropology is not even my like. I mean, bones are cool, but
Right. It's hard to engage in something, even if it's something that's presently in front of you, like bones, let alone read about it. Because reading is definitely something that it takes effort to do so, right? Like like I was saying, it's a tool that you need to sharpen. It's not something unless you're just a super genius, which I'm not. Like, you have to really like what you like. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I think as an adult, like what you were saying when you're taking classes, people want to put a stigma on, oh, well, he doesn't pay attention, maybe he's got ADD. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe the subject material that's in front of you is not interesting. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I found out as an adult, I had a lot of trouble in school when I was a kid. I didn't do terrible. I'm a high school dropout, but I went back, finished my degree or my diploma or whatever. And I kind of thought I was kind of like just that student, right? But I found out as an adult, going back to college, when it's subject matter that you want to engage in, you're a good student. I'm an excellent student as an adult because the subject matter that I choose that I'm interested in keeps me engaged in them instead of, this industrial complex version of school that they put on us since the, industrial movement in the, what is that? Post-depression.
Yeah.
Like approach to education. Like it's hard to keep people's attention. You know what
Well,
I
no,
mean?
especially nowadays. But I mean, but it all goes hand in hand. That's what I was saying. It even goes back to the macho man thing because I'm saying it fails at everything. When you fail, you find out what other your niche is.
Right.
I totally agree. I believe I'm just like I've read things backwards sometimes, and when I was younger, I've always had trouble reading. That's why I never really liked reading. But what I did know, and I did always pay attention, was comics would always say, read the newspaper because that's what you're gonna get most of your Joe Trump, and that's where you're gonna get most of your. Well,
We often have like a
but and then also short articles, very quick.
Yeah.
in a book. It ain't like chapters, and then you're not sitting there. And then also there's pictures, you know. So you might see a car flipped over, explosion, and then you see a big article. I might want to read it, you know, or something like that. So I've always been good with articles and newspapers, and obviously magazines. Now there have been books that I've been drawn to, but then it would take me work too, though. It definitely would take me work.
Yeah.
Now I've heard so many different views, like you're saying. Like I've heard now when I do my reading, I scan through it, and then I go back and scan through it again. Then now I rewrite. I actually have to rewrite, or I summarize. I don't plagiarize, but I summarize when I'm reading from the notes, and I have to do it.
Yeah.
It takes me a little longer, but I have to do it because that's how I understand what I'm doing. And I feel some people, they're just afraid of that, attacking that, and dealing with it. Believe me, it's not easy. But I feel if you're taking one class at a time, if not maybe 3 classes full. I just think it's just about approach and willing to do it. But it does help. But it does help because, man, that's another thing. I mean, when I learned about the novelist, I wanted to dive in with you on it too because now I'm getting into writing where I write. I'm doing my journal, man, but it's like almost now I might even just turn it in whatever I'm turning it. I mean, I'm just writing more now. And I feel that's the beginning aspect of anything. Now I even have the interest of just rewriting a script or maybe rewriting Sopranos episode, one of the Sopranos episodes, because I feel like even in that type of show and what's going on and describing, and
you could easily turn that into like a sketch, like short.
But
if you took like a comedic approach, rewrite the script, but in a way that's like, not saying that you would do it in a funny way, but you could definitely rewrite it in a funny way. Like it's like you're not necessarily ripping off anything. Like you're just you're just saying, what if this?
Right.
Yeah.
But it feels like you have to practice.
Yeah.
And you people, I've heard of other writers rewriting other people's things just so they can learn the flow and how to write.
Yeah.
And then they really grab that and then they take their own approach and they rewrite however they want to write.
Yeah. Reading does that too, though. I mean, because even when I read, I analyze like how sentences are structured. And sometimes I'm just annoyed with sentences that have 18 commas in it.
Yeah.
Run-on sentences annoy the shit out of me. Annoy me so bad. they annoy me. Like, put a period, start a new sentence. It's okay. I feel out of breath from reading it, and I'm like, wait, there was like 4 comments. I'm talking about this. Now I'm gonna go back here because I'm referring to that. Going back to here, I'm like, this is way too much. Put a period in. Say what you need to say. You don't need to be like so worried. I don't know. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm not saying don't have a good vocabulary. I'm just saying like, say your point. Say your point. Just be direct. What you're saying. You don't need to like compare one thing to another. To compare one thing to another. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, you get sucked into a black hole. You forget about what you read about.
But I also feel that people have, like you were telling me what you had problems when you're reading and stuff, but then I feel when you have those type of problems and issues, you follow through and tackle what you're tackling now. Novelists, writing, now you get, podcasts, like you're applying all these things that you thought you had problems with, but you turned them into, am I right? You turned them into like things now you're using it to your advantage because now you're applying more time to what used, like you said, you used to have problems with, and now. So I mean, have you
I'm still a slow reader.
Well, I mean, how did you go from that to like how to write a novel?
Just seeing different stories, like stories that made big impressions to me.
Yeah.
And from a narrative standpoint, that really engaged my imagination. And they kind of just like, me and my brothers would always pretend play as a kid. We would, have sticks and pretend they were swords, and we would just act out these plays. You know what I mean? And just keep playing. Even if something didn't go the way we wanted and we took it one direction, we just went off there and just did it that way.
Yeah.
And like I always had like this drive to just engage my imagination because I just felt more free and not so compartmentalized in something. But just thinking that and then coming up with something and then just write that down. And you get to the point when you hear or ingest the media, you're like, man, dude, like I feel like I could write a good story. And so that's just really what it turned into. It's kind of just like taking in influences and kind of just making it your own, as you were saying earlier.
Well, you usually have a whiteboard, but I don't have whiteboards, but no, but that's how I don't know whiteboards are amazing.
Well, yeah, because you're writing something.
Well,
You're physically writing something.
but it's so good because like you have like some of my jokes and stuff like I'll like have in my head and I run into the whiteboard and I write to the whiteboard and it feels like a relief, a relief off my chest because it's like swimming around, but I know that if I lose it, that
You gotta get it out.
yeah, I gotta get
You gotta
it.
calm down.
Now I haven't been on open mic. No, I haven't.
You should come tonight. Tell them you should come tonight.
Nah, I can't. Come on.
Finish your homework, bro. No, you're not finished that homework and come out.
So it feels good though, but that's how I feel like what you're doing, like you're getting out, and that's all it is. Like you have this interest. Now, are you in the verge of writing this novel, or you are?
I have a couple chapters written out. I'm being a piece of shit.
No.
But it was down to. No, there's no excuse. I know who I am. I know that I have time and could utilize to do things, but I'm a man and I'm flawed. Like don't say that words. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was diagnosed with ADD, and I understand that that is a part of basically. Should I stop talking?
No.
Okay, I'm like, yeah. So he was doing something on the computer. I'm like going, I wonder if I said something bad and he said to me. No, I think the part of the process with ADD is that our time trying to focus on a specific task, and so I am creating a bunch of things to do, and I'm not sure if it is good for me with how my brain works, because I have ADD, people think on it, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I just think that means that I'm good at doing something that maybe people that don't have ADD are good at. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense. Like I'm able to like do one thing, stop, and be okay with taking a break with that, and then doing something else that's one person like
That's one
got to focus on so 5 days. And if I do not, but
even the article stated that a lot of MIT students, and I'm very kind of whatever, but the article stated that a lot of students at MIT are very so focused that there's not many social. So like if you compare MIT to maybe like a very social school like University of Texas,
or Alvin Community College,
or community college.
fins up.
But yeah, so they're so focused that, and I feel like I guess if you're an MIT student or an MIT engineer or whatever, that rolls in the roles of doctors too. You got some doctors and some people are so focused they have no sense of.
But that's their superpower.
No, true. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's not me, right?
Right. That's not me either.
That's what I'm saying.
Like me, like go down and there's like a yellow bird that flies over there, I'll see that. And then over here, I'll see a man crossing, digging in his pocket. Down over here, I maybe see the hot chick that maybe I ain't going to, and then I'll go there.
But I think that's the beautiful thing about people in general. Like just embracing how different people are. Like we need people that are super focused on a very specific task, right?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna, they have an important job. Just like if me and you are out there, like let's say, nuclear fallout happens tomorrow, and we all, me and 25 other people, including you, survive. Someone like me might be good at securing a perimeter, like being alert when things that are moving and paying attention to different things, as opposed to someone who's like focusing on a very specific task, who's like trying to, reverse engineer something to build like a power source for our settlement here. You know what I mean? Like they're people being so uniquely different. We all have a role.
Right.
I'm not good at something that someone who can focus on something may be good at, but I am way better at something that like maybe multitasking or something that my how my brain operates would be better at than them, if that makes any sense.
No, there's something else. The for it too, which and it,
Not to derail all that. So
no, but it pertains to the hunter and gatherer. Like we have this mentality of the ADHD, ADD guy. The mentality is a hunter gatherer. You're more prone like that. When I was in the Navy, jack jobs to the jacking the F-18 to knowing what's what, to knowing where to jack, how to take off, this and that. Now you throw me into a book and I have to read a book and
yeah.
I'll go with the jack, I'll go with the hard work, I'll go pulling it off, doing all this, and then they're like, hey, you gotta go by the pubs. As long as there's pictures, as long as there's pictures, and then
big old black binders.
I mean, you got well, there was a pub.
No, mine was not digital.
We did the tough books too.
Well, that was, I have the right stuff.
But no, it's the mechanic, like hunter gatherer. Let me go out, let me go shoot deer, bring it back, or let me go kill an elk and bring something back, and feed the family. Let me go chop some wood, things like that. Yeah, all that's finished. And then I feel the mentality that you, like you said, you and I have, or just for instance, we're in a. I hate being in big square areas where there's a lot of people. I hate that. It's weird. Well, I mean, because it's just I have that skin of you just like going downtown.
Are you talking about just like not being able to get out of a situation? Like when you walk into
No, it's just no. I'm saying, but that you're saying like almost like guarding the perimeter. Like you're always like kind of scanned. You're always just like yeah. You're always just like it's just second nature. But I feel not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Some people are so focused on what they're doing.
Yeah, me and my wife, like for example, when we did this, is that me and my wife went to a restaurant. We just went to a really fancy restaurant here, and I still that place because I'm just not that guy. Everyone was like a supermodel. I'm just like regular dude. I was like, oh man. The first thing I did, like literally walking in, she's like enjoying the atmosphere, looking at the lights, the statues and shit, and I'm just like, that's exactly like what I'm doing. Like it's like everywhere I go. Like I'm not paying attention to what I should be like paying attention to, but I'm just like, yeah.
And then the Navy made me kind of paranoid. And then when I was overseas, that made me more paranoid. But I feel still when I was young and I had like what you're describing is just like another thing or just normal like. It benefits you in other things that may not benefit you as in concentrating or doing certain things. When I was young overseas, it actually helped me,
Yeah.
Like you said, you were just mindful. And then being in Houston already, I believe in Houston, it's kind of like New York, it's like kind of, you're kind of like, you just gotta watch out.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid, you kind of
just mind your surroundings.
Yeah, you can deter trouble and whatever. I mean, but I feel still it just comes in that people put down the ADHD because I feel how I look about it when I was younger and trouble reading and I get back grades. I still feel if I just had a little more attention,
right,
and I would have been fine,
I think there's also probably an anxiety aspect too.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the medication that people do take for it, like if you have to do it. I understand. I mean, but I do feel there's ways around it.
Absolutely.
As you're gonna become an adult, it's your choice whether you want to or not.
You're controlling your life.
Right. Because it does. But I still believe I had a little more attention when I was younger. I mean, dude, the teacher called me stupid when I was like, Parker Elementary, and she literally called me stupid, and then called this other stupid. I'm like, really? She was a mean violin teacher.
What's her name?
Mean. I don't know. She was like the substitute.
Come on, man. Her name.
And then she had like, it's almost
it's not like Voldemort where he shall not be named. Say the name.
I said, man. The others are like a witch too. She's seriously.
Say the name.
No, I bet you if I tried to find out, then I would probably find out. But I remember she could play a mean the violin, but she was just mean.
Was she playing like that?
Almost like right.
Was she like, you're so stupid then? And then like you start crying, and then she whip out the violin.
No, I remember she was like, what are you stupid? It looked like, and she hit that point where like she was that adult point where she just broke. Like we're all we're like, so 4th grade or 3rd grade, 3rd or 4th grade, and you can just see as a young kid her that breaking point where she's just like pop, and then she started calling, "Are you just stupid? Are you just stupid? Are you just stupid?" And then I guess as I was young, I was just like looking at her like, she's just flipping out. But why is she calling us stupid?
She has something going
And
on.
then I came home and I told my mom, like, yo, she called us stupid. Like, she was calling that, I remember his name was Mark, but she was calling him stupid. I was like, hey man, you should go tell your mom that, you know, she called you stupid.
Yeah, dude, that would not fly. That would not fly.
No, I mean, but it was like a blunt, like, you're stupid. Correctly, hey, stupid?
Yeah.
Are you stupid? I'm like, aren't you a teacher?
I'm all for being hard with students and like behavior and shit.
Like, you're a teacher. Like you're supposed to be like, I'm probably stupid. You're supposed to be like, I don't know.
I'm
going to do something else other than that.
Well, you know, teacher calling you stupid. I'm only as stupid as you're allowing me. You're supposed to be teaching me, so if I'm stupid, I'm your effort. But yeah, I'm all about correcting bad behavior. But don't call my kids stupid. Like we're gonna have problems.
Well, see, I can't even become a school teacher if I wanted to. But I mean,
What's that?
oh, it's when you have a DWI, you can do it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you could be a nurse.
Yeah.
But you can't be a teacher.
Yeah, I can do that
That's weird.
because another thing that needs to be flipped because I actually have a lot of patience for children and I have a lot of patience for kind of, I guess, teenagers. But that's because I don't have any. I mean, maybe that's why.
And then, like X amount of years with no instances, that should be like gone. Like, come on, dude. You made mistakes like everyone else.
It's almost like the social worker too, though. The social worker.
You gotta have a clean record for a social worker.
Social worker.
I feel like a social worker should be the dirtiest person there. Who's been through it, right?
Well, no. Okay, so there was another one guest that was trying to find out the name, try to have her on, and her situation, she had to become an out-of-state social worker to practice with her license because the state of Texas doesn't allow her. But like you're saying, she learned her lesson. She had a rough start in a sense, learned from her thing, and she had a family, and she made it through. Got her bachelor's and her master's, got her life turned around. But there's a bylaw in the law here in Texas that wasn't that because she has a felony on her record, doesn't let her become a social worker. Even after all the credentials, even her writing her, I believe she wrote her senator or just whoever represents her. But no.
All that shit's bullshit anyway, dude. I tried to write my congressman about my school situation because they're giving me grief about my Hazelwood. They're trying to say I used all my credits. I've only used like 30 credit hours. I'm supposed to get 140. My congressman did not even write it. Like, I'm pulling his email up.
I would give it to Latrell though.
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
Yeah, Latrell's office or the local office too would probably be like Adrian Garcia, their office too.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we can talk about it later. But yeah.
But that seems crazy. That seems like the grimiest person should be not like the grimiest, but I mean like someone who's walked the path of fire to talk and relate to the people who are walking their path of fire. Just seems appropriate to me, right?
No,
like, someone that doesn't know what I'm going through or has not been what I'm going through, trying to give me advice about what I'm going through. Like, I mean, whatever. I mean, thank you for your advice, but like, you don't have any sort of like stake in what's going, like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you gonna tell me to get out of this situation? You have no idea what I'm going through.
There's no, and I feel like so on
That's hard. Right?
So from VA hospital, there's a lot of people I know, in the general, from the doctors to the doctors. I'm not even saying like, I'm talking about like therapy doctors, but those doctors, the good ones are practical. And you got good ones that are practical that haven't experienced anything like this in serving or, going overseas or anything. But when it comes to being practical, some are good and some aren't. And I've also thought of an idea of like, how come there's not a fast track for veterans to become therapists, but almost like a road to it to help them become therapists to help other therapists. to help. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
then that kind of carry on.
Yeah.
Maybe not get to the level of I mean, whether they have the school or not, but I just noticed that the VA, there's not a lot of personnel that, I mean, I've heard there's peer assistants, there's volunteers, other veterans, and veterans will help other veterans.
But you're talking about licensed, like.
Like ones that, you know, like you said, have actually been through thick and thin, and you know, and even the ones, like, I feel even not even saying you have to be a Marine, but it's somebody to serve. So I mean,
And I'm not even saying like someone that hasn't been through it should be given back time. That's not.
No.
But I'm talking like, and for the example of this person that has, you know, been through it, I don't think that because they have been through it in the past and they have obviously made a correct, you know, deviation from what they were doing and have shown that with evidence with their credentials, their schooling, their education, should be let to do that. Even if that means like you're being monitored for whatever it was you got in trouble for, give them the opportunity to work. Let them prove themselves that they are able to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just on an individual level.
Yeah. But no, I mean, so I mean, with the podcast, I know it's kind of gathering it all together. I mean, it kind of just goes with, you know, one thing fails and then something else pops up, and then you just follow through. And I mean, I think it's awesome, man. You know, your novel. I mean, can we get any insight, or you're kind of
Like, what's it about?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if I have enough for like the big, like, so I have two ideas. I have one that's going to be more of like a existential, supernatural kind of like horror series that goes, it's kind of like how Stephen King kind of primes his stories about, there's something about childhood that kind of bleeds into adulthood. And I can say that particularly with the family that the story follows, there's definitely like some supernatural like lineage things that are tied into the family that give them the ability to do certain things that, you know, evil starts to kind of present itself in a physical, supernatural way.
That's awesome.
But and then there's another one's like completely like epic fantasy kind of stuff.
But see, I relate to a lot. Like I say, this deal with fighters too, and I always say to, you know, even the other fighters, it's like younger fighters and or people that are starting off somewhere more interesting. I believe that when somebody, you know, I feel like when you're in the act of leading up, like when you're just talking about that, it's so cool because it's all manifested from, you know, it's just, you know, you're acting it
creating
out.
something from nothing.
Yeah, and it's awesome. I mean, it's almost like fighters, same deal. You know, like you're young, taking advantage of your young body. You're getting out there, you know.
Because once you're 35, you're broken.
But I mean, you're taking advantage of knowing what your style is.
Absolutely.
You're learning, you know, how to maneuver, and you're learning all types of different things, you know. So that's why I said I think it's just an awesome deal when I'm hearing you talk about it. Like, yeah.
So to say what you were saying about, you know, combat sports, it's definitely interesting when people find their style and create their, you know, their movements and how they set up certain things to get their opponent to do certain things. Like I think that that's really cool that people can incorporate in fights as well.
Yeah.
You're feigning or getting someone to step into something that you're already setting up.
Yeah.
I find that that's pretty cool. And definitely, I think you definitely, I'm not saying you need imagination to be a combat sports athlete, but I definitely think imagination can help because you can think outside the box in situations.
Well, because I'm sure you've seen some of the episodes I've done about combat fighting, so I'm sure you can come back for that MMA or whatever. We can find something else for that too. Because you also do jiu-jitsu?
Man, yeah.
I you kind of know off and on.
Yeah, the issue with me is I've been having the lower body for the last couple of years. It's started to affect my ability to go in because I find it sucks, dude. It's lower back. Like as I said earlier, had found out in the X-ray that I got compression fractures.
Yeah.
And then went to MRI and found that I've got bulging disc and herniation. Like my complete lumbar spine is jacked up. Like probably by the age of like 60, I might be 2 inches shorter than what I was when I was like 30.
Yeah.
Because like the are losing space. And so I found that was not hurting. So if I go I'm waiting to hear back from a spinal surgeon, but I'm waiting to see. So I probably just drill and do like live training with professor after class. I just don't feel confident to roll with like a white belt who doesn't care about my back.
Yeah,
because that one is like I'm not trying to compete, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also would like an opportunity to apply what I've been taught, and I want to do that in an environment where someone is knowledgeable, not going to just try to slam me because they're freaking out. You know what I mean? In a sense. And to me, it's not worth it. I make my livelihood based off my physical ability to do things. If I lose that, then I can't support my wife and kids. You know what I mean? So it's tough. But
well, I'm coming back.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking about my. I'm gonna do
you're gonna go straight boxing.
Yeah,
Man, you can already feel about that, dude. Just get into jiu-jitsu, man.
No, I mean, jiu-jitsu, I'm not putting it down at all. It's something I actually want to grab, but right now, I think that's more like a 48, 50.
What you saying, dog? Dude, it's just like the impact, like when you're talking about combat sports, like you're striking, like it's so bad for you, bro. So, like the drill.
No, but it's, at this point, I've learned now to be very specific on the spars I spar with.
Yes.
Who I spar with. Now, no, but that's more of the training. I'm just not training. Like,
what?
Like just go, no, yeah, mine is fine. Smart.
Yeah.
So if you're just going in, training with the coaches, right now I'm up in there with the 2 spots.
Yeah.
It can be one or the other.
Is that me?
But anyway, so
all it takes is one, butt head to just hit you in the head, and then
just move to the bottom.
Is that me?
No, but anyway, it's the training is going to happen, and it's just going to be training, no sparring, unless I want to.
Yeah.
But I know it's addicting. It's addictive for me to like want to spar.
Absolutely.
It's kind of tough. But like, so there was a situation prior to that situation happened because I didn't know the spar, so I sparred with this person. So.
And you're probably like me in a sense where you go in there like, hey, you tell the guy like, hey, Mike, I'm really only going to go, 50% today because I'm sore. And then before you know it, you're going 120 because you're trying to one up a move, and then you find
No, there's only certain guys. They know who they are. It was Kevin from Paradigm. I'll call him out. He was one that I used to spar pretty hard.
Yeah.
And so that was just mutual in a way. There was other spars too that I sparred that were just mutual, but no, I've learned at this point now how to like pull back, because you hold back, you don't want to snap. Like when you hit, you're gonna snap them, like because you're gonna talk back again. Yeah, you kind of just like deliver it and you're more delivering the technique than you are more.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. That's why I said that's what's addicting about it.
Yeah.
It's so addicting. It's just after that, about 15 minutes, you already got a good sweat, a good workout, and boom, you're done.
Yeah.
So it's
that stuff is there on its own.
Oh yeah, it is.
Maybe that's what you need.
No, it is. That's what I do need. It helps me out. Yeah, what we talked about earlier. Yeah, it definitely helps me out. That's a whole other beauty about sparring and boxing. Is it just I believe everybody should box.
Yeah.
I believe sometimes just need to be handled by boxing. Put on some gloves and just box. They'll get hammered real quick.
I feel like if everyone knew what they were doing, there would be less confrontation because.
More exercise. No, I believe if there was more exercise and more, at least 30 minutes mandatory a week. I hate to say it like that, but like it's
North Communist America. Here we go. Everybody's got to do 30. Your insurance premiums will be doubled. You will be monitored.
but even that, if you go and you do 30 minutes, it feels good once you get in the work. And people think like, oh, you got to go do and be like Jane Fonda or people who know Jane Fonda, but more fights on. But you don't have to be Lou Ferrigno or anything like that.
It's
an old muscle guy, by the way.
It releases endorphins. It really does.
It helps you actually think better and process things better. And if something happens, it helps you kind of spread it off your shoulders and not worry about it.
You want to talk about your stand-up, dude? Nah.
It's been no. Well, I mean, we could talk. There's really nothing to talk about because I can't get. I'm not. I've attempted a few times when I've had time to go to secret group and go up and haven't been able to go up.
Yeah.
It's all good. Now I'm just too busy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like me staying up all night and then barely getting on there. Right now, I was out practicing, and then like that's where this podcast comes in.
So where did what time does secret groups open mics end? It's like midnight, right? It's not too late.
Secret groups list goes out like around. It's a
Why do you go-
okay. Well, huh?
You're supposed to get you're supposed to minimum cycle, right?
Yeah,
But like, how long does the actual event go to? Like
oh, it goes to 2 in the morning, 2 in the morning. But that's what I said. Like it gets to the point where there's 2 people in the audience, which I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I like to do it almost for the experience. Even if I've done it before, where there's only been 1 person. I've done it before where there's been like 4 people who are all comics.
Yeah.
I've done it.
at least then you can get some feedback too.
Yeah.
As long as it's constructive, like you're not just trying to be.
To be honest, I believe Sunday nights are pretty good there. Sunday nights are good because there's people that randomly come in and it kind of fits, and it's usually in the box over there, man. And then on other days now they have it inside the other part of the secret group, and there's another part with the station there.
I've never even been there. I drove by it several times, so I don't even know what it looks like on the inside.
But there's a lot of other open mics opening up now too, and then so I'll let you know about the other ones too. There's another guy that I know. Shout out, I think I'll win, and he's doing
Start.
I think it's a big Star. I don't know. It's up at 9th Street in the Heights.
Gotcha.
And there's the one there. Obviously, you've been to Russ. Russ does the Monday pull the bucket and that's by chance, which is pretty cool. That'd be on Russ. That's a good one. And I think that one's a guy named Brian. Brian, or there might have been Dylan Alexander. Or
I've seen 3 different hosts there. Each time I'm in it.
I'm not going to say the names wrong. But anyways, I do know there's different hosts on that Monday night. Then there's Jeff Joe at Axelrad.
Is Axelrad a good venue to go to?
Yeah, definitely. You got to sign up for that one. That one's pretty cool. I've never done. I know one comic that does that. I know of him. I know him.
So I went to Axelrad years ago when it first popped up. A long time ago, probably over 10 years ago. Or about 10 years ago.
I would say. When school was going on, U of H, HCC, all that, yeah, it's perfect. Like, massacre, they still get a good crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a good night. Nasui, Marlo Ray, that's another open mic. Shout out to them. Marlo Ray always hooks it up with me. I mean, it's just with me, it's just time lately. Like now I'm just trying to line up things. Now it's been about a year or so. Yeah, everything's going cool so far. I mean, thank God. I'm just knocking this out. Hopefully, knock it out pretty soon, and then move on from there. But then, yeah. But I'm writing a lot. I am writing a lot, and I'm applying things I'm thinking of. Yeah,
The whiteboard.
Yeah, the whiteboard, or I'm definitely writing it in my book. And then I have this weekly update that I do, now through the week of the podcast.
Gotcha.
Which is another separate series.
Which is about like your stand-up process or like your journey?
Yeah, it's just to monitor what's going on. Like right now, a lot of dumb things happening from Kevin Spacey crying to everybody.
What is the deal with Kevin Spacey? What's good with that?
So the reason I'm attacking Kevin Spacey is because Kevin Spacey is a weirdo, and he's a pedophile, and the reason he came out Piers Morgan crying that he had no money and he has no net worth, he starts going about how so I mean, yeah, I know what we had talked about it.
First of all, I would never believe an actor crying. And Kevin Spacey is a good actor. If you've seen him in in movies. I'm not saying that he's a great person because he's an actor, but I've seen that man act, and he's very compelling. So to see him cry, I just don't believe it. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it.
He was in 7.
I mean, the guy is a good actor.
He was in 7. Like, that's why I like 7, because he was a weirdo. He was a weirdo. He played it good.
He played it good because he played this. No, I'm just kidding. But
So the guy from Adventures of Babysitting, you ever seen that movie back in the 80s? And you remember there was the guy that would lick the, like he would lick the,
was that Stacy?
no, that guy accused him. So that guy, that actor,
The redhead
that movie, yeah, the redhead kid accused him.
He was on Breakfast Club, right? So good.
No, I don't know if he was on Breakfast Club. He's acting before.
Since 2016.
And he's made over like 200 grand or so an episode during the House of Cards. 200 grand. And he's crying. It's not like, and then like, the fool rode on the Epstein plane. So that's what I'm saying. He even called out Bill Clinton on here. So a lot of crazy things. So I know before we get off, you know, had to kind of take the arguments of this a little. Oh, none, huh? Nothing, huh? Well, maybe you have to get an apartment.
Welcome to the club.
Maybe you have to get an apartment. Maybe get rid of the Mercedes. Maybe you have to get rid of the Honda Accord. Maybe the Civic. You know, I don't know. Maybe you have to go get a regular job. Just maybe.
So
I don't know, bro. Like, I'm so sorry for this guy.
I'm sure it sucks having everything written. I can't tell you what kind of emotional mess I was in, but
Jules Morgan is hilarious for like always interviewing these ridiculous people. And he's like, I guess I would be doing the same thing if I was on the same type of platform as Piers Morgan. But shout out to him because that was just like the video of him just, you know, showing it, like, be sad for me, this and that. I mean, he was accused of a lot of things, man, and I feel if you have that much accusations going against you, there's, yeah, I just don't.
that's the upper bro. Not to, you know, rationalize or justify his actions.
No, true, but I feel you get to that power trip. It's a power deal. It's a power deal. Like power or money. It's the power. It's like it's like something flips up, and then all of a sudden you think you're P Diddy. You know, I did jokes on him and didn't go so well, but
On Diddy?
yeah, well, Diddy too. But I feel Diddy's in the same world. The fool that shit went to his head. There's another video. Have you ever seen this one? And this one's pretty popular. Saying he can do, yeah. What is it? Anyway, that's that point too as well, where he was just power level, money, you know, and look what it got into him. You know, I mean, he ended up, you know, this girl that he was, you know, throwing. I don't know if you saw the video of it, but there was a video that was shown where he was throwing around her cat. There's some things I was talking about them and throwing around his ex-model girlfriend Cassie. So that's what it said. It's just, I feel if you're a good character, you're just a good person. You're just a good person. And if somebody is trying to attack a good person, and it's minimal, but if there's like patterns and, you know, it's just like conclusions and
I mean,
people together,
wow.
right? That's what I'm like. Because I mean, I could go all day, you know, but you know, I don't want to spend time going on Kevin's face, but
Yeah.
I just feel I'm generalizing that. In general, when you get to people like that, like it's sickening, you know, it's sad, you know, it's real sad, you know, so it's like, damn, you know, whatever.
I feel like you find around with Epstein's brain, you probably doing something that's pretty good. Especially because it's not like you don't know who Epstein is.
Okay,
You know
example.
exactly what
Okay,
it is.
example. Okay, even in high school, I even knew not to get in certain bars with certain people. Like, yeah, certain people I knew in high school, I just knew.
You seem like
And then there was all the risk too, where I said, fuck it, you know, we'll go hang out, whatever. And there was other people, you know, we would hang out and so forth. And but my point is, I knew who was in the car. I know it's a big difference from a G5 Gulfstream jet to a car, but I kind of knew who I was going with. So you would think even more, you would know who you're getting on the G5 airplane with, you know?
I feel like if you can't stay away from Epstein and he invites you, you really want to go, you better make sure that all that optics is low and nobody knows you're going. Because you know what you're getting into.
Well, but even, did you ever go to spring break? Did you ever celebrate spring break now? Ever in a Padre or?
I went once to Dallas. I know.
I've been to South Padre spring break, and even there, you just know not to go out with strangers.
Yeah.
As a dude, and if I go out with strangers, you don't know it's gonna, and even with the chick, you still got this. Even with the book, you still got to be questionable, like you know, one night stand. I mean, even if that happens, you still, it's dangerous. So that's why I said, like, to go with somebody not knowing what they do, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Everybody always has that general.
Everyone knew who Epstein was.
Everybody always has that general fight or flight. You know, you have that instinct. You know?
There's a lot of premeditated actions before Spacey is at home and then him sitting on that plane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like a 30-second decision. Like he showed up, like get in the plane. You know, like you know who Epstein is. Come on.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's a bunch of people. You don't know who's who. It's the same. Like you just. So why would you jump on the G5 plane unless he had money, and then you knew he did, and then you also knew what was gonna happen possibly when he got there, you know? Weird, man.
No sir. No sir.
So yeah, so I'm doing more writing towards. Now I'm trying to aim more back to the family, because I've always originated most of my jokes with my dad, and then I've originated some other jokes just in general, family, and then my situation. So. Yeah, it's just kind of, and then obviously you got to come to see the studio, so it's going to expand, you know, it's getting more and more interesting, but I'm doing this, I'm glad you came on because you kind of made me feel like even content with, you know, sometimes the issues I would have when I would be writing and reading it, and you kind of like, wow, and then you're already writing a novel, and
well, I'm not.
Well, I mean, but dude, you're doing it, that's what I'm saying, just work on it a little more, I mean, it takes time, and, yeah. And hopefully, if not, sooner or later you'll be on here talking about your novel, and then you have it like right here showing. That'd be best. And I have an actual novelist on my show. Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
For the nerd.
That's right.
Are you a big fan at all of Jack Carr? Terminalist, like his writing? Because I've always been amazed on some writers. Okay, Jack Carr.
I'm not saying I'm not a fan. I just have to keep thinking.
Okay, Jack Carr is the one that originated the book for The Terminalist, and Chris Pratt got into the production of it, and it's about a Navy SEAL. But what I like about it, it's a thriller / you don't know who to trust, what the hell, and then death is involved, Secretary of Defense and knowing different, you know, and then being in the military and then being out, it just brings everything too. So you got to know the military. And I feel Jack Carr is like my whoever in the 80s was Tom Clancy, I guess, or whoever was some other one, Tom Clancy. Sure. Yeah. But who did Harrison Ford's Patriot Games?
I'm not gonna pretend like I know.
No, what do you think?
I would like you to do that.
Someone on with Harrison Ford.
It's Jack Ryan. Yeah, that's Clancy.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's Clancy too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm stupid. Okay. But and then also the for Red October.
Yeah.
Clancy. When I was younger, my dad had me glued to it.
Yeah.
One of the first ones. And I'm a little moment here, but watching a movie and actually being out in the military and the Navy and then me seeing this up close.
Yeah.
It was awesome, man. It's an awesome experience. He showed me Flight of the Intruder. You ever seen that movie?
No.
Flight of the Intruder is I don't know how it's around, but it just made me think about So Flight Intruder was another movie, and I don't know, actually, it was a book. I'm actually curious about that. Okay, here we go. Flight Intruder. 1991, written, directed.
Whole young Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, so these were the A6s. But these were the bomb droppers.
Yeah.
And when I got to the Navy, I got to see the other ones. So, but I guess what I was getting at was all these writers, they write, and then obviously the production happens, and then the movie comes out, and it's awesome when you can actually reference, you know.
So you were predisposed to this kind of environment before you even getting into the Navy, which I'm sure was pretty cool.
No, and then, I mean, I feel that's probably where you get your energy to do right, because you're by experience, you know. And now that you're going on this other venture of like you're saying, like supernatural, family, and all this.
Yeah.
Sounds cool, man. That's pretty cool, dude.
It's a work. It'll be a short story. It's about the short story will be about a very specific instance that kind of is the catalyst of what pushes everything forward. So it'll be like a short story, maybe like 50 pages long. Not too long. You can probably read it, take up shit.
I come across my best thoughts when I'm taking a poop. You know?
Yeah. I mean, a good poop will change your day.
I mean, sometimes I go to the jug where you're just sitting there, and then I, you know, then run out and wash my hands, and then go out and write on my whiteboard.
Yeah, tripping over your things, pull them up.
But that's what I'm saying. Like these writers, man. I mean, like I said, that's awesome, man. You're doing it. So, and maybe one day you'll have a Alexander Smith. Oh yeah, I can produce or.
I'll have to change my name, I think. It's a very generic name.
Alexander Smith.
Alexander Smith is kind of like, it's kind of blended to the crowd.
But yeah, so I guess we can get an hour. Like I said. See? Yeah, I mean, we can go longer, but I have a few things to do. I know you got a few things to do, and then I'm just glad you came home, bro.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Can I do a plug?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, whatever. And then we're gonna share the excerpt out of this. So yeah, definitely.
If you want to follow the Nerd Companion, I have an Instagram account, _Nerd_Companion. I have links to the podcast on the bio, whether it's for Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or Spotify. I also put in reels for updates for any content that's coming out. So
if you want me to, I can show your face, probably.
Oh, if you want. Yeah, that was just a little plug, just to check it out.
No, I have to do it over here. But yeah, you want to look on, is it on, do you have a, I was thinking, do you have an Instagram?
Yeah, no, the Nerd Companion Instagram. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, yes, look it up on Instagram, _Nerd_Companion. Just a silly podcast about nerd culture. We poke fun at ourselves, but it's all good. Yeah, you can search on it. Do or do not, there is no try.
And then it's twice a month, you said?
Yeah, so I try to release an episode once every 2 weeks-ish. I might do more frequently if I have it, but at the very minimum, I try to do at least like once a month. I know that the episodes are kind of long. I'm trying to get it down so I'm not having such long episodes. It's just usually when we get up into usually like anywhere from like an hour to 2 hours, which is like, once you get into the zone and like dissecting certain topics, you just go, it's just like a toilet. You just swirl down.
No, but that's good, because I believe it's always like papers. Like nobody, like you write it, like you're saying, you're going to write your big paper. No, but I'm just saying.
That's essentially what it is. It's basically like a verbal essay.
No, but your verbal essay, there's always good shit.
Yeah.
Might not be, people's interests on 100% on this or that, but whatever you're writing, grab this, that, boom, and then make an excerpt, and then boom, what's that?
Yeah.
That's what I've learned that you need to do. Like,
I just did that on very recently. A couple of excerpts from the last episode, but I'll be doing more of that. It's all a learning process.
And then you're definitely going to come back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll definitely do this again. I hope to have you soon on again. That'd be awesome. I appreciate you coming on.
I think you can.
Cool, bro. I mean, well, years. All right, everybody. Have a good day. Check it out, Nerd Companion. Check it out. Check it out.
Ooh, yeah.